Can we get into that corner? Wow. Trying to get under these trees is not easy from that perspective. So let's try it from this one. Hello and welcome along and welcome back to the Old Stream Farm. Today we are finishing off the contracts from last time. We need to row up and bale the hay across the 3 fields that we have. And so we're going to get cracking on that. We have switched to 2-day months, but unfortunately, for some reason, we seem to have ended up in the 2nd day of April. So we've still got a single day in April to get all this done. We have a load of silage bales here that are going to need selling at some point. They are only 85% fermented at the moment. So they're not quite ready yet, but they'll bring in some extra cash for us as well. It should help us plant some extra vines too. So yeah, lots of stuff that we got going on and that we've got to get done today in order to finish things off. And somebody did actually mention that this field here is a bit of a pain to do contracts with because it's got the river running through the middle of it, so the entire field area is taken into account when it's calculating how much you need to deliver for the contract. And of course, the river has nothing that you can deliver from the contract in it. So we'll see how well we get from this. Thankfully, we've got the other 2 contracts to pick up any slack, so we should be all right there. But it's yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one from that point of view. Let's unfold our windrower and turn it on. There we go. And hopefully we can get around here fairly quickly with this because, yeah, this is not a quick job with this little thing. It kind of takes a while to get around stuff. This field, or this part of this field, is a really odd shape. It's sort of the crescent moon shape to it. Means that I'm rowing it pretty much the same way as I cut it. Which is to get the arc of this crescent and just follow it around. Normally I'd do 2 headlands on the on here, but it just really isn't enough space on this little bit of field in order to do that. So I'm just sort of bringing it in like this, and that's got all of that. But it's, yeah, it is a weird little shaped bit of field that we aren't doing too bad at handling, I don't think. The far end has a bit that's going to be really difficult to get at with the baler, I think. But not much I can do about that. Hopefully the little bits and the trouble bits that we're having at the moment won't be too difficult to, or won't cause us to lose too much of the hay on here. Because as I was saying when we came into the field, at the moment we have, well, we're not sure if we're going to get the full number of bales we need off here. So let's lift that up. Turn it off because we need to get across the water and get the second half of this field done. Oh, wow. Yeah, there we go. Right, and I think I'm going to start at this point here because that will be easy to marry up and get a second round on the field done. I find when using a windrower like this, the inner track on the headland is so much easier than the outer one. You can maneuver a lot nicer and you're able to just sort of take it up to the corner and then turn. Whereas on the outer run or the outer headland, you find that you are you're having to turn around the corner rather than lift the equipment in order to make sure you get everything in and you don't get any stray runs off the ends that end up causing you issues. So yeah, it's a much nicer bit to do the inner bit, but I think we've done all right here. I think we managed to keep stuff out of the corners. We seem to be in a pretty good place. And yeah, I'm going to go around one more time on the headland. As I said, do 2 headlands, unlike how we did the other bit. And that should allow us enough space to turn around. The heavens have opened up and the rain is falling. It's a proper April shower we're experiencing at the moment. Hopefully it won't last too long and we'll clear fairly well. We've got hay on the ground at the moment, so it shouldn't affect the hay too much. If I was realism-wise, if I had the grass on the ground trying to dry it to hay, that would be a different problem. But having it as hay means that it should be all right, and we should be able to just get this all rode up while this is going on. And yeah, it's going on fairly well. We're into the main body of the field. This part's the field actually really easy to do, and nice and straight, nice and large. And if this is how the rest of today's fields go, I'm going to be fairly happy, because it should be a fairly quick job. It's 9:30 at this point. I think we should be moving on to this next field by about 10 o'clock. Final row. And yep, spot on 10 o'clock. Not a bad estimate for once. My estimates normally aren't that accurate. But there we go. So stop that and fold it up. And we can now head over and get fields 13 and 14 done. And then we can get the baler out, get these all baled up and delivered, and hopefully make a decent amount of money off these contracts. Getting our vines finished today, which would be good, because we still need to do some work. We still need to get the vines mulched, and we need to get them also cultivated, and we need to start getting some fertilizer on them as well. So there's still a lot of stuff to do with our vines, but I want to get these ones planted first. I should note that our first fabric has come out of the spinnery. We have a grand total of 15 litres so far. Now, one interesting thing about it is that April is actually the best month for selling fabric to the clothing factory. So, well, looking at these, it's going to be, the high is £7,010 in April. The low is 4,238 in October. So we're going to be basically delivering wool there on a regular basis. And yeah, trying to get the spinnery to output. I don't know if the spinnery will output at a rate which will be fast enough for us to get all of our wool through. We will see how well it does. I don't know what the conversion rate is, actually. It's 2 wool to 1 fabric. So we should get 11,000 litres of fabric, which is quite a bit. Whether it'll be enough to then buy the... Oh, that's not close enough. Whether it'll be enough to actually buy these, the fabric factory, I don't know. But it looks like that's going to be a year before that happens. Can we get into that corner? Wow. Trying to get under these trees. It's not easy from that perspective. So let's try it from this one. Right. Down with our windrower under the trees. That's got it. Right. So let's get these fields rowed up as quickly as we can. Because, yeah, we want to get these baled and these bales delivered today quickly if we can as well. And we're going to have to get our little teletruck up here. Not absolutely what it was created for, but should still do a great little job on these fields. So, yeah, we'll see how that performs in a bit as well. It looks like the rain is finally calming off. And that's good news, because that's going to make this job a lot easier. And we are just going around on the second headland, or the inner row of the headland. With this field here, that's so thin at this point, it basically just becomes 2 rows that one comes out and the second comes back in. Yeah, there's going to be a spot at the end, but I think rather than going around the end, that's going to be a better way to do it. And then, yeah, we're going to have that bit under the trees in a bit. And look at that. There we go. Rain has stopped. We want to keep everything away from the trees there. And I'm just trying to work out exactly where is the best place to go along the edge of the field to get some nice straight rows. It's a bit of a dog-legged field, this. I think it's going to be along this edge here that is going to be the best way to get our rows out. Train going through. But I think we've got everything under control. Want to get this field finished fairly quickly, because we've got one more to do, and then we've got everything to get baled up. I think we're going to try and get the largest bales we can off here, just to reduce the amount of transport we need to do, and hopefully that will speed things along rather nicely. Looking at the shape of this field, our longest rows are going to be by actually following the contour of this top end of the field. It's going to make for some interesting shapes there. It's going to be a slightly curved set of rows, but it does mean that we're going to get nice long rows rather than sort of shorter ones going from the bottom end of the field, and should mean that this area that we've got at the top here is fairly easy to get into the rows as well. So yeah, we're gonna do some nice long rows along the edge of the field here, and with any luck that will make our baling a bit easier as well. Between these 3 fields and the silage bales, we should definitely have enough to get the rest of the vines planted today, which is good. April is smack bang in the middle of the planting season for the vines, so from that point of view, we're absolutely fine. We are getting on a little bit though with the actual growth stages on our vines. If I have a quick look in here, and we have a look, and let's see. So yeah, you can see some of our vines are already beginning to move across a little bit. I want to get the cultivating and mulching and fertilizing all done on all of our vines this year. So it's quite a lot of work to get them to be in place at the right time. We do have a bit of kit I want to try out actually this year, if we're able to afford it. It's going to be in the shop here, and it's going to be under, it must be under grape technology. There we go. Where are you? No, it's not. Probably under sprayers then instead. Yeah, there it is. It's 62,800 for this, but does 2 rows at the same time. Really interesting piece of kit, this. But we'd have to lease it in order to use it, I think. But yeah, I think that might be a really efficient way for us to do our vines this year, if we're able to. And if not, it's something that may be worth looking into in the future. Right, one more field to get rowed up. It's taking us a while to get this done. Yeah, one more field to row up, and then we can get the baler out here and get all of this hay baled up. Oh, I just really hope we can get this all done today. Field 13 here is a much more sympathetic shape. It's easier to work. We should get some nice long runs out of this as well, which will just make it so much easier to get bailed as well. Time is cracking on though. I mean, it's 20 to 3 in the afternoon. And yeah, we still got the rest of this field to get bailed up. Just this field to get rowed up, let alone bailed up. And yeah, I don't know where we're going to be at the end of this. Is this going to go into a third day, or are we actually going to be able to get all of this rowed up today and bailed and delivered? That seems a little bit far-fetched to me. I think if we take on any larger contracts than these 3 and want to use our own equipment for it, we're going to have to change our windrower. This is taking a fairly long amount of time to get round with this 3-meter one. There is a 7-meter one in a mod that I downloaded that should do quite well. If we have a look at the windrowers here, I don't know if I've actually activated it on here. What ones do we get in here as standard? So we got the SAMs, which is 8.4 meters. We've got the Crone, which is 9.7. Yeah, there is a 7-meter one, which is slightly smaller, a Cavernaland, I think it is, that I have downloaded and I will bring in at some point. It's 14,000 to buy, whereas the one we've got at the moment, where are we? Yeah, there we are, and windrowers is only 3,000. So yeah, it's a lot more expensive than what we have now. But as always with Farm Sim, if we spend a little bit more money, we'll take a little less time doing these things. So maybe not something for the farm for this year, but certainly if we're looking at doing more contracts going into the next year, then it might be worth grabbing it. Well, we're on to our final row on this field, and that will then be everything done and rowed up and ready to bale. I can't believe how long it's taken today to get this job done. In fact, we're not quite done yet. We've got a little bit up here that still needs bringing into this final row. But, yeah, I think an upgrade on this, if we're going to do any large amount of windrowing, is going to be necessary. That has taken us till 5 in the afternoon to get all of these all of these fields rowed up. So I'm going to have to take this back down to the farm. We'll see if we can get at least one of these fields baled up. Because, well, pretty certain we're going to have to continue this next time in order to get these all finished. Not the end of the world, because, of course, now we do have a little bit of extra time to play around with. And we do need to get the final vines in May. If we don't, then we're not going to get them in this year. But, as I said, we should be all right as far as that's concerned. So let's take that off. And, yeah, that off. And there we go. All that disconnected. And we can then connect ourselves up to the baler. And we're going to get at least one of these fields baled today, I think. This should be a lot quicker, especially as... Right, let's go with the really big bales. 150 is the largest this will do. So, take that away, and away we go. Let's go and do field 29 and get that one out the way. Because, yeah, that is going to be the fiddliest of these 3 fields to do. Here we are, field 29. And we've got this first bit to do here. This baler just works so well with this tractor. Absolutely fantastic. And, yeah. This is going to be a lot quicker, this job, than... the windrower that we've been doing and the windrowing we've been doing today, because yeah, that has just taken forever to get the rest of that done. Looks like we're getting not quite 3 bales off this bottom bit. We're at 93%. Let's turn this off and then we can get across the river. So into here and over. Yep. And start her up again. Back down and in. And it won't be too long before we drop a bale here, I don't think. There we go. So as long as we can get round the end of the row, we'll be okay with that. And bale is out. And away we go again. We've got 4 more bales off the headlands here. So we're 6 bales so far off this field. I think we might add another 1 or 2 to this for a total of 8. Which is not bad at all. Also, not going to be too difficult to load up 8 bales and get them delivered. So that will be good news. The sun is setting now, and we do have some more rain on the way. So I think this field is probably going to be it for today. We've got the extra time now, and we should be able to get everything done in May that we want to get done. Definitely going to be getting this, or the remaining bales from these contracts, baled up as quickly as possible, and then we can get them all delivered and get the money in to get those final vines in this year. That's the thing. We really, really need to get those final vines in. And then I want to turn my attention to getting a new tractor. We want to add the Kubota by the end of this week, or a Kubota by the end of this week to this farm. So we're gonna have to work out how we can afford that. We might have to lease it for a bit to try it, but I think that we may get to do some work on the vines with it. So yeah, maybe we'll get one on trial and try it out, and you guys can see how well that would work on the farm. And we can target it for a purchase later in the year. However, the sun is fading and we have just this last row to do. Not going to give us another bale though, unfortunately. Let's get the lights on because it's got that dark. And are there any... Oh, yeah. Or is there any more on here? There is, and from what we know, we really need to get every single piece of hay we can off this field. The pickup on this isn't very wide. If you just clip something, it doesn't get it. You have to actually fully run over it. So it's quite a realistic baler from that point of view. Wow, I've left lots of spots of hay all over this field. But I think with the sun fading fairly quickly in the sky, that we probably need to end this here for today. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.